जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय विश्वगुरु शील प्रभुपदा विश्वगुरु शील प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय मिशनपाद परमंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस विश्वगुरु श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय। Jai Mishnapat Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottarashata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai Shri Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Deva Ki Jai Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature, verse number 58. Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tabhyam Tataha swarat Balam tabhyam tataswarat Balam tabhyam tataswarat Padau cha nirabhidyetam Padau cha nirabhidyetam Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatihi tabhyam Tataha harihi Gatistabhyam tato harihi Gatistabhyam tato harihi Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tabhyam tataswarat Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatistabhyam tato harihi Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tabhyam tataswarat Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatistabhyam tato harihi
Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tabhyam tataswarat Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatistabhyam tato harihi
Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tamyam tataswaram Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatistabhyam tato harihi
Gatistabhyam tato harihi Hastau cha nirabhidyetam Balam tabhyam tatah swarat Padau cha nirabhidyetam Gatistabhyam tato harihi
Hastau, the two hands, cha and nirabhidyetam were manifested. Balam, power, tabhyam, from them, tataha, thereafter, swarat, Lord Indra, padau, the 2 feet, cha and nirabhidyetam became manifested. Gatihi, the process of movement, tabhyam, from them, tataha, then, harihi, Lord Vishnu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, the 2 hands of the universal form of the Lord became manifested, and with them the power of grasping and dropping things. And after that, Lord Indra appeared. Next, the legs became manifested, and with them the process of movement, and after that, Lord Vishnu appeared. Kindly repeat. Thereafter, the two hands of the universal form of the Lord became manifested, and with them, the power of grasping and dropping things. And after that, Lord Indra appeared. Next, the legs became manifested, and with them, the process of movement. And after that, Lord Vishnu appeared. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The deity presiding over the hands is Indra, and the presiding deity of movement is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Vishnu appeared on the appearance of the legs of the Virat Purusha. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam. Long ago, several millions of years ago, in the family of Ikshwaku. Ikshwaku is a descendant of the Surya Bhagavan, Vivaswan. He is the descendant of, in the Sun dynasty. The Sun dynasty, Raghukula, is where Lord Ramachandra also appeared. So in that solar dynasty, the dynasty starting from the sun, there appeared a king by name Yuvanashva. And Yuvanashva's son was Mandhata. And then Mandhata's son was Muchukunda. And this Muchukunda, when he grew up, he was a great devotee of Krishna. And he had heard from different people that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will appear in the 28th Mahayuga. And so, the Dwapara Yuga of the 28th Mahayuga, 28th millennium. So, he was always awaiting the appearance of Lord Krishna. And because he was a great devotee, he ascended to the throne after Mandhata, and he ruled in a very pious way, very capable way, according to the religious principles. And he was quite powerful also, because after all, he was a great devotee. Now, what happened was, once there was a fight between the Devatas and the Asuras. Devatas and Asuras are constantly at loggerheads. Devatas want to retain the power, Asuras want to take over. So, fight is going on. Now, in that fight between the Devatas and the Asuras, the Devatas were feeling that they needed some more firepower. They needed some more strength, some more allies. So they thought, why not approach King Muchukunda? Because he is powerful, very religious, devotee of Vishnu, so why he cannot help? The Devatas approached Muchukunda, and Muchukunda immediately agreed, because Devatas are also devotees of Vishnu. Therefore, he also agreed. And then Kartikeya is the commander, Muruga Subramanya, he is the commander-in-chief of the army of the Devatas. Under Kartikeya's direction, Muchukunda also fought in that battle. And it was not a small battle, ferocious battle between the Devatas and the Asuras. And Muchukunda also fought very valiantly on the side of the Devatas. Eventually, after a long battle, the Devatas won and the Asuras were defeated. Now that the Asuras were defeated, all the Devatas, they became very happy. They were extremely glad that they could retain their Swargaloka, the heavenly kingdom. And then they thought, Muchukunda has helped us a lot. We should award him. Therefore, the Devatas called Muchukunda and told him, you have fought very valiantly and you have very selflessly fought for us. So we want to give you some Ashirvad, some benediction. But at the same time, please remember that you have been fighting with us for so many years. Such a long time you have been fighting with us. On the earthly planet, all your queens, your children, your citizens, your ministers, your army, everybody has died and many, many generations have gone by. Now if you go back to your kingdom, you will not find anybody there. So many generations have passed, nobody will recognize you. This is the situation. But because you have helped us, keeping aside your considerations of family and your personal conveniences, all this you kept aside and fought, you have worked very hard and fought very hard for us. So we want to give you some benediction. Apart from liberation, apart from mukti, anything else you want, you ask. Muchukunda replied that, you see, I have been fighting for you people without even sleeping for so many years. I have become very tired, extremely tired. You know, all my limbs have all become slack and I don't have any energy at all. I need good rest to be able to recover my energy. Therefore, please bless me that I'll be able to take good rest, uninterrupted rest. And when I am sleeping, if anybody comes and interrupts my sleep before I wake up, he should burn to ashes. And Devatas also said, Tathastu. All right. Such a simple thing you asked, no problem. Because Muchukunda was a great devotee, he did not ask, I want kingdom, I want wealth, I want queens, I want this, that. He did not ask anything. He said, I just want to take rest, that's all. And so, Muchukunda came to the earth. He entered one cave. He went into one forest, very dense forest, full of thorns and all those kind of things, and sought out a cave because he wanted to be in an isolated place. He didn't want to go to the city and all that. People will always be disturbing. He didn't want to get disturbed. So he went to the forest, went to one cave and lie down there and went to sleep. And Muchukunda went to sleep for many, many thousands of years. Now what happened? After many, many yugas, the 28th millennium, Dwapara Yuga came. And when the time for the 28th millennium Dwapara Yuga came, Lord Krishna appeared. And Lord Krishna, after his pastimes in Vrindavan, he was ruling over Mathura. At that time, for the Yadavas, their priest, family priest, was Gargamuni. Now one day, Gargamuni, he was sitting with his brother-in-law, and the brother-in-law teased him. He taunted him. He passed some uncharitable remark against Gargamuni. And of course, you know, brother-in-law and all means there is some amount of pulling the leg and all those kind of things. So these things are natural. So something he taunted Gargamuni. Now what happened? All the Yadavas, they happened to hear what Gargamuni's brother-in-law had taunted him. So they all laughed. They all started laughing. When they started laughing, Gargamuni felt very insulted. He said, oh, the Yadavas are laughing at me. Therefore, I will produce a son who will be very fearful to the Yadavas. So he went off and then he started meditating upon Lord Shiva. And after a long time, he managed to appease Lord Shiva, Mahadeva. Lord Shiva appeared before him and asked him, what benediction do you want? He said, I want a son who will be very fearful to the Yadavas. And Lord Shiva also said, Tathastu, okay, all right. And then after a little while, what happened? Then Gargamuni came back, and once he was wandering somewhere he was going, there was a kingdom of the Yavanas, Mlechas and Yavanas. In Vedic culture, those who unrestrictedly eat meat, they are called Yavanas and Mlechas. So sometimes people say, even in Hindu tradition, even in the Vedas, there is a provision for meat eating. But that provision is not unrestricted. You have to personally take a goat or a lower animal on an Amavasya. You have to go to a Kali temple. There you have to chant certain mantras into the ear of that animal which you are going to sacrifice to Kali, which in effect says that, now I am cutting your throat. Next life, I give you the right to come and cut my throat. This is the mantra, effectually what it means. So you have to chant these mantras, and then you can sacrifice that animal in front of Kali, and then you can eat that meat. So Amavasya comes how many times in a month? Only once in a month. And you have to go personally. You cannot go to the shop and buy and all that. You cannot do all those things. So if somebody wants to eat meat, he can do that only once in a month, and that too on an Amavasya, by going in front of Kali and chanting into the ear of that animal that you are giving that animal the right to kill you in the next life. All these things you have to do. And then you can eat that meat of that animal. So that kind of allowance is there in the Vedic scriptures, not unrestrictedly. You have a slaughterhouse, and left, right and center you slaughter animals there, and then you sell it in an outlet, in a different non-vegetarian restaurants. You cannot do all those things. That's not allowed. So the people who do that, unrestrictedly eating meat, they are called Mlechas and Yavanas. Now there was a king of the Mlechas and Yavanas. And Gargamuni, when he went to that kingdom, that Yavana king told Gargamuni that I don't have a son, so please bless me with a son. So Gargamuni took that opportunity and he begot a son in the womb of the wife of the Yavana king. And that son was Kala Yavana. And this Kala Yavana grew up and he became the king, and he became a very powerful king. And he became so powerful, he could not find anybody to oppose him. Nobody was strong enough to oppose him. So once Narada Muni happened to be going through that kingdom. So Kala Yavana met Narada Muni. He respectfully, he received him, welcomed him and all that. Then Kala Yavana asked Narada Muni, who is the most powerful king in this world today? I want to pick up a fight with him. I want to prove that I am more powerful than anybody else. Narada Muni told him, you know, there is a place called Mathura, and there are Yadavas are staying there. And amongst them, there is one person called Krishna. He is very powerful. So Kala Yavana said, Acha, okay. So he sent a letter to Krishna, saying that, challenging him for a fight. When Krishna received the letter, Krishna responded by saying, Kala Yavana, you are a sinful frog. And as quickly as possible, try to go and find a deep, dark well where you can hide. Because there is a black snake called Krishna who is coming to devour you very soon. So better you run away very fast. Now, this kind of message you send to a Kshatriya, what will happen? He will become fire. So Kala Yavana, when he got this, he was looking for a fight. Now he got such an insulting letter, calling him frog, run away, hide, all these kind of things. He became even more angry. He said, I am going to show this Krishna Yadavas, what does he think of himself? So he took his army and came and surrounded Mathura. Now Krishna, as soon as he sent the letter, he knew what is going to be the result of this letter. Naturally, Kala Yavana is going to come running. So he called Baladeva and told him, see, Kala Yavana is going to soon come. I have sent him an invitation. I have called him, please come. So he is going to come. Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai. And same time, they got news that Jarasandha is also going to come for the 17th time to attack Mathura. Krishna spoke to Baladeva, see, if it was Jarasandha alone or Kala Yavana alone, we could have managed. But suppose we are fighting with Kala Yavana, one side, and suddenly other side Jarasandha comes, he may attack. And when we are busy handling Kala Yavana, Jarasandha may come and capture all our relatives Vasudeva, Ugrasena, they may capture all of them and take them away. Jarasandha is a very evil man, cruel man. So it is not safe to be here in Mathura anymore. So what to do? Krishna called Vishwakarma and told him, emergency, please come. There is one project for you. What is that? You have to build a whole city overnight. And where you have to build? You have to build it in the middle of the ocean. So Vishwakarma immediately came, and because Vishwakarma is the engineer of the Devatas, for him to build a city overnight is not a big deal. So within one night, he built an entire city, the city of Dwaraka. And in the night, Krishna transported everybody. All the Yadavas were sleeping. In their sleep, Krishna transferred all of them to Dwaraka. So the Yadavas were sleeping in Mathura. When they got up in the morning, they are in Dwaraka, in different palaces. So Krishna did this, and then he came back to Mathura. And by then, Kalayavana had reached, and his army had surrounded Mathura. Now, Krishna did not want to fight with Kalayavana because very sinful man, meat eater. Why I should fight with him? Krishna thought, let me figure out some other way to handle this fellow. So what Krishna did? Krishna walked out of the Mathura fort. He did not come in a chariot or anything like that. He came out of the fort walking, barefoot. And Kalayavana was waiting. When is Krishna going to come? When I am going to start fighting? He called me frog. I have not forgotten. I'll show him what kind of frog I am. So he's waiting. So suddenly he's seeing one four-handed, beautiful, bluish person coming. Lotus eyes. And there is a peacock feather. In two hands, he is holding Shankha, and he is holding the lotus. And his lotus feet are so tender, so delicate. And his beauty is surpassing everything else Kalayavana has seen. And he is walking without any arms. He is not having any bow, no arrow, no club, nothing. And he is peacefully walking in the middle of his army. So for a moment, Kalayavana was struck with wonder. Oh, what is this person I am seeing? Then Kalayavana remembered Narada Muni's description of Krishna, that he is bluish in complexion, extremely beautiful, he has got lotus eyes, all these things he had described. So then Kalayavana suddenly realized, oh, this is Krishna. And he is walking away like this without any arms. What is this? So he told Krishna, wait. I come, you only called me to fight. I have come to fight you. Where are you running away? Krishna turned his face and started running away. That's how he became a ranchor. So he ran away from the battlefield. Now Kalayavana, he thought, okay, now I am having arms. If I shoot an arrow at him or something like that, people will condemn me. I want to become famous. So already he is a coward, he is running away. So let me also give up my arms and let me follow him in foot. I will challenge him, fight him and defeat him and show the world who I am. So according to the religious principles, he put down all his arms, got down from his chariot, and he started running after Krishna. And Krishna in his four-handed form is walking. And Kalayavana is running, hey, wait, stop, wait, fight with me. What is this? You are a coward. All these things he is telling. Krishna is not bothered. He is walking. And Kalayavana is running behind him. Slowly they crossed the Dwaraka, came out of the city, and they entered one forest. And Kalayavana is still pursuing Krishna. And Krishna entered one cave. Kalayavana also followed behind him. And suddenly Krishna disappeared. So Kalayavana started looking around. Dark cave. Cave will be dark. There is no light and all that. And he was his eyes were trying to adjust to the darkness. And he was saying, hey, Krishna, where have you gone? Where are you hiding? Come out, I say. And suddenly he saw somebody was lying on the ground. He thought, oh, so you are lying down as if you are trying to hide, pretending to sleep here. Huh? You thought I will not discover you. He went and kicked him. That was not Krishna, it was Muchukunda. And Muchukunda, suddenly he was woken up and he became angry. Who is that who has woken me up from the sleep? He looked around and saw Kalayavana. And he looked at Kalayavana, boop! Kalayavana burst into flames and he burned down to ashes. Then Muchukunda was like, oh my God, what is this fellow who came? Where did this fellow come? Who was he? Why did he disturb my sleep in the middle of this cave? Suddenly before him, 400 form of Krishna appeared. And Muchukunda was surprised. He was amazed. Oh, what is this beautiful personality? His effulgence has lit up the whole cave. He's so effulgent, my eyes are hurting to look at him. And then he looked at the lotus feet. He saw such tender lotus feet. And he looked at him and he said, oh, great personality, who are you? And how have you come barefoot in this forest which is full of thorns and pebbles? Your lotus feet, your feet are just like lotus. Did it not hurt? And then he realized, oh, this must be Vishnu. Nobody else can be so beautiful, so tender, so delicate, and came through the entire forest unhurt. Who else can it be? So then Muchukunda immediately, he presented himself. I am Muchukunda, I am the son of Mandata. He introduced himself and he asked, are you not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu? Then Krishna said, yes, you are my great devotee. Therefore, I wanted to come and give you my darshan. Earlier, I wanted to do that earlier, but you were not still fully purified. You were still having material desires, so I was waiting for you to get purified. Now that you are purified enough, I have come in front of you. And now, although you are purified of all material desires, still, as a king, you have hunted so many animals, you have killed so many people in battle. For all that sinful reaction, you have to atone for that. Therefore, this life you follow tapasya, follow austerities, and purify yourself all those sinful reactions. Next life, you will take birth as a pure devotee. And then after that, you will come back to me, come back to Godhead, come back to Vaikuntha. So Krishna blessed Muchukunda like this, and Krishna disappeared. Then Muchukunda walked out of the cave and he executed devotional service, perfected his life, and next life he was born as a pure devotee and then went back to Godhead. So this was the story of Muchukunda and Kalayavana. Now in this whole incident, what happened was, when Kalayavana was pursuing Krishna, the Srimad Bhagavatam describes, Kalayavana felt, just now Krishna is within my grasp. He would extend his hand and suddenly Krishna is out of his grasp. So Kalayavana would think, 2 steps, I'll catch Krishna. 2 steps he will take, Krishna would have taken 4 steps already. So all through, why Kalayavana continued pursuing Krishna all that distance up to the cave was, every moment Kalayavana was feeling, just now he is within my grasp, just now I'll catch him. And Krishna, although he was walking barefoot, he was too fast. He was faster than what Kalayavana could run and capture him. So this is a characteristic of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Ishopanishad, it is stated, Anejad ekam manaso javiyo. Anejad ekam means, anejad means unmoving, immobile. Anejad ekam, Krishna is located in one place in the spiritual world. He is situated there. He is not going anywhere. Vrindavanam parityajya padamekam nagacchati. Right? Krishna does not go one step out of Vrindavan also. Krishna is always in Goloka Vrindavan. Anejadekam manaso javiyo. But at the same time, although Krishna is situated in one place, ekam, he is situated unmoving in one place, still manaso javiyo. Javiyaha means fast. He is very fast. Manaso javiyo. He is faster than the speed of the mind. What is the speed of the mind? Prabhupada describes. I am sitting here, I close my eyes and think of America. Fraction of a second, I'll be in America. That's the speed of the mind. So although Krishna is situated in one place in Goloka Vrindavan, still, Manaso javiyo, he is faster than the speed of the mind. This is Krishna's quality. This is his capability. Manaso javiyo. Not only that, Naina Deva Apnuvan Purvam Arshat. Although Krishna is there in front of all the Devatas, Purvam Arshat, he is situated right with the Devatas. Vishnu, if you look at Paramatma, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, he's within this material universe. The Devatas are also there within the material universe. So he's right there with the Devatas. Naina Deva Apnuvan. But even the Devatas cannot capture him. Even the Devatas cannot approach him. We see in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, when there was too much of irreligion, Mother Earth came and prayed to Brahma, and Brahma and all the Devatas went to Shvetadvipa to seek the directions from Kshirodakasai Vishnu. At that time, all the Devatas accompanied Brahma. And when they came to the shore of the ocean of milk, they could not find Vishnu. And then Brahma had to meditate upon Vishnu, and then Vishnu gave his directions within the heart of Brahma. So you see, even the Devatas cannot approach that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is beyond our reach. And not only that, he is faster than what anybody else can walk or even think, and he is beyond the grasp of even the Devatas. This is the quality of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is another similar verse which describes this quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Shvetasvatara Upanishad also. The Shvetasvatara Upanishad states that Apanipado Javano Grahita. Apanipadaha, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Apani, Pani means hand. Apani means he has no hand. Apanipado, he has no hand, no legs. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no hand and he has no legs. Apanipado Javano Grahita. But at the same time, Javanaha, he can walk very fast, and Grahita, he can capture whatever he wants. Pashyatya Chakshuhu Sasrinoti Akarnaha. And Achakshuhu, he has no eyes. But Pashyati, he can see everything. And Akarnaha, he has no ears. Sasrinoti, but he can hear everything. Savetti Vedyam, he knows everything. Whatever is to be known in the entire creation, the Supreme Personality of God knows everything. Savetti Vedyam, whatever is there to be known, he knows. Nachatasya Veta, but nobody knows him. Tamahur Agryam Purusham Puranam. That person, that Purusha, that person, he is not an imperson, he is a person. That person, Ahur, it is said that he is Agryam Purusham. He is the foremost personality. And Puranam, he is the oldest personality. Why is he the oldest personality? Because there is nobody else who is before him. There is no source for that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anadir Adir. He is the source of everybody else. But there is no source for him. So therefore, he is the oldest personality. Suppose I am born as the son of somebody, then my father is older than me. Now older than my father is my grandfather, because my grandfather gave birth to my father. Older than my grandfather is my great-grandfather, because my great-grandfather gave birth to my grandfather. So like that you can go on. When you come to the final person, there is nobody beyond him. Nobody gave birth to him. Then that person becomes the oldest person. Therefore, that Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Tamahur Agryam Purusham Puranam. He is the oldest personality. So you see, that oldest Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot be captured by even the Devatas, nor can he be captured by all the rishis and sages who are constantly speculating. The Brahma Samhita also states, Panthas Koti Satavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavana Sopyasti Yat Prabhadasim Navicintya Tatve. Sorry, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Lord Brahma is saying, Panthastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo. Koti Shatavatsara. For thousands of crores of years, Panthasu Koti Satavatsara Sampragamyo Vayor Atapi Manaso. At the speed of the wind and at the speed of the mind, Munipungavanam, of the great munis, great sages, So the greatest of the sages, at the speed of the mind and the wind, they are pursuing the absolute truth. And they are doing it for thousands of crores of years together. For such a long period of time, with their mind, they are speculating who is that absolute truth. And after speculating for hundreds of crores of years like this at the speed of the mind, such great sages, after speculating, what do they achieve? Prapada simni avichintya tattve. Prapada means the lotus feet. Simni means the tip. Such great sages, after so many years of speculation, at the speed of the wind and the mind, what happens? They are not even able to reach the tip of the lotus feet of Krishna. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So you see, even the great sages, Manaso Javiyo, they can speculate for millions of years. Still, they will not be able to capture, grasp Krishna. The Devatas can run very fast. They can travel very fast. They travel in aeroplanes across planets. But still, even they cannot capture Krishna. So, because Krishna is completely spiritual. By our material hands, by our material feet, we cannot approach him. It is not possible. So that Krishna, when he has created this material universe, why has he created this material universe? He has created the material universe because there are jivas who want to try to artificially take the position of Krishna. So Krishna has the power of grasping. Apanipado javano grahita. And Krishna has the power of moving. So Krishna wants to give that power of grasping as well as power of moving to even the jivas so that they can artificially imitate Krishna. But then Krishna is completely spiritual. So the living entities, when they want to imitate Krishna, they come to the material world. They cannot use their spiritual senses to move and to grasp things in the material world. They need material power. And so therefore what happens is, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, advents, he incarnates as the Virata Purusha. And that Virata Purusha, Hastaucha Nirabadyetam, he manifested his hands. And when the Virata Purusha manifested his hands, because the Virata Purusha is the material form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a material incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Hastau Nirabidyeta. So, when the Virata Purusha manifested hands, what does it mean? He manifested material hand. And when that material hand of the Virata Purusha was manifested, Balam Tabhyam Tata Swarat. So, the power of grasping also came into existence. The power of material grasping. Apanipado Javano Grahita. That Grahita, that ability to grasp things is already there in Krishna. That is spiritual power. Now, what is happening? Balam Tabhyam Nirabidyetam. That material power of grasping becomes manifested by the Virata Purusha. And now that material power has to rest in somebody. Somebody has to control that power. You cannot have power which is unrestrained, which is unregulated. So therefore, Tata Swarat. Indra was also born. And Indra was given the charge of handling the power of grasping and dropping things. And then the Virata Purusha, Padaucha Nirabidyetam, the material legs of the Virata Purusha manifested, Gatis Tabhyam. And from that material legs of the Virata Purusha, the power, the ability to move also, the power of movement also manifested. And the Lord Vishnu personally appeared, Paramatma appeared, Kshirodakasai Vishnu appeared, and he took the charge of the power of movement. So until now, we have seen Garbhodakasai Vishnu has expanded into the universe, and that is how the Virata Purusha has manifested. Until now, Paramatma has not manifested. So now, Harihi, Tato Harihi. So Lord Vishnu appeared and took charge of the power of movement. So from this, what we can understand is that all power is emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Even such an insignificant power, the power to grasp something, pick up something, or to drop it, or to walk from here to another location, such a simple power which we take for granted. We don't think about it at all, isn't it? Every day we keep picking up objects. Somebody brings a plate of food and keeps it in front of us. We'll immediately pick it up and without thinking we put it in our mouth. But just think for a second, for you to be able to pick up that food and put it in your mouth, your hand needs grasping power. If that grasping power is not there in the hand is paralyzed, what will you do? How will you eat? You cannot eat. So you see, even such a simple, insignificant power which we don't think about at all, the power of grasping objects and dropping them, or walking from one location to another, we don't think at all. We think I have to go from here to there, immediately we start walking without even thinking. So that power to walk, the power to pick up things, the power to drop things, even this power does not belong to us. It is coming from Krishna. Forget about bigger powers, the power to control, the power to rule. Forget about all those things. Even the smallest of the power, even to just pick up an object, pick up one pen or pencil or whatever, even one blade of grass, if you have to pick up, even that power is not in your control. It is coming from Krishna. That is why here it is being mentioned, Hastaucha nirabidyetam balam tabhyam tataswarat. So the power of grasping and dropping things, where is it coming from? It is coming from the universal form of the Lord, the Virata Purusha. And where is that power for you to walk? Padaucha nirabidyetam gatistabhyam. Where is that power for you to use your legs to walk coming from? It is coming from the Virata Purusha. So the question comes naturally, when all the power I have, whether it is to talk, whether it is to see, whether it is to grasp something, whether it is to walk, whether it is to comprehend what somebody is saying, any kind of power that is there in the world, if everything is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then naturally, what should I use all these powers that I have been handed over? Whatever powers I have got, what should I use it for? Every single power that we possess should be used to serve that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because every power is coming from Him. Therefore, at least in the human form of life, Athato Brahma Jijnasa, now that we have got the human form of life, we can understand that you see, I have got this power, and this power is coming from Krishna, therefore I should engage in His service. I should engage this power in His service. Our power to see, our power to hear, our power to taste, our power to walk, our power to pick up and drop things, our power to rule, our power to comprehend things, our power to gain knowledge, every power that we possess must be used in Krishna's service only. Otherwise, stena eva saha, Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. If we use it for our sense gratification, then we are thieves. Because the power is not mine. It is Krishna's. Therefore, it has to be used in Krishna's service. So this is what we can understand from this description of how the material nature is being created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And every step we can see how the Supreme Lord is involved in this creation. And without His involvement, there can be no material creation. We cannot exist. We cannot have the material power to walk or to grasp things. None of these things would have been possible. Everything is possible in the material world because the Supreme Lord has willed it. And therefore, the only duty in our life should be to serve Krishna, to render loving devotional service to Krishna. And apart from that, there is no other duty. And that is why Krishna in the end of the Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva dharman parityajya, reject all other duties. Because you have to understand that all these mentally concocted duties are not your real duty. Your real duty is to serve only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because everything is coming from Him. So, by hearing about the process of creation of the material nature, a devotee becomes more and more aware of how he is dependent completely on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how he is obliged to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the exclusion of everything else. So this becomes more and more strongly, that conviction within the heart becomes stronger and stronger for a devotee when he hears about the process of creation of the material world from the Srimad Bhagavatam recited by Kapila Muni to Devahuti, and which is being narrated by Shukadeva Goswami, and which is repeated by Sota Goswami in the midst of all the sages. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any question or comment, we can try to discuss.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So when we hear pastimes like Muchkunda, even though earthly king, going to higher planetary systems to support the devatas during the fight from the demons. So how to understand their sustainability there? Even we heard from Bhagavatam also, Arjuna traveled higher planetary system to invite the kings.
So how do they sustain there? How do they? Their material body has a certain lifespan and all those kind of stuff, right?
Because the earthly body will not sustain at the higher planetary system.
How will the earthly body be able to sustain in the heavenly planet? Because the heavenly planets, the bodies are made differently.
Yeah.
The bodies made on the earthly planet are different. So what we have to understand is, when the Devata sought the help of Muchukunda, they would have awarded him the ability to be able to go to the heavenly planets with his body. Just like suppose I apply for visa to go to America and the American embassy, they reject. Then I cannot enter America. But suppose the American embassy calls me and then gives me a visa and tells me come. I did not apply, they called me. So then you can go or not go. You can go, no? Why? Because the embassy has empowered you. Similarly, the Devatas, when they sought the help of Muchukunda, they would also have given him the ability by which he can go to the heavenly planets and fight along with them. And to be able to fight for such a long period of time, by which time so many generations have passed on in this material world. Another thing is that when you go to that heavenly planet, you will be governed by the laws of that heavenly planet. You will be governed by the forces of time according to that planet. So, if he had a lifespan of 100 years and he has spent 30 years, then he went to the heavenly planet, he fought there for 20 years. So, effectively, that 20 years which is spent in the heavenly planet will be counted in his 50. So, because the moment you go there, you will be governed by the timelines there. Just like there is a time gap of about 12 hours between India and the United States. So, when you go from here to the United States, suppose you start from here on, let us say, 1st of the month, and you travel for some 16 hours and reach there. So, already in India, we would have gone to 2nd, but when you land in America, you will be on 1st. So, the moment you land America, you get governed by the timelines there. And here, it would have become night. But when you land there, it will be night after 16 hours. So then you cannot say, no, now it is this one there in India, it is daytime. So I'll have to see daytime here. You cannot do that. You have to adjust to the timeline. Your body will get adjusted to the timeline. You will have a jet lag for a couple of days. After that, your body will get adjusted to the biological cycle there. So you see, when you go to another place, then you get governed by the timelines of that place. So you go to the heavenly planet, Muchukunda went to the heavenly planet, immediately his body started responding according to that timeline. So he did not, his body did not die, although generations had passed on in the earthly planet. That's how we understand. Is that okay? Anybody else? So we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.